Hi everyone. This tutorial will introduce you to the Overleaf software that we're using for this year's SIGDOC proceedings. There's a lot of content to cover, so we've actually divided the tutorial into 5 separate videos. There'll be links to each of the videos in the description below, and you can feel free to skip to any area that you feel is most important to you. This first video will give you an overview of the software. It'll tell you how to sign up for Overleaf, how to download the template, and the general overview of the file structure. The second video will specifically be talking about editing the header because there's a lot of small pieces of information that you'll want to change there. The third video will be discussing editing the body text, how to add headings, how to insert images, how to work with tables. The fourth video is going to be discussing the bibliography file, how you edit that file, how you cite works within that file. And then finally, the fifth video is just going to be a brief wrap-up. It'll tell you how to download your project as a PDF and also any troubleshooting that you might need. So first question is, why are we using Overleaf? If any of you have submitted to the SIGDOC proceedings in the past, you probably know that the Word template is a bit of a nightmare. I stopped using it about 2 years ago because it was so difficult to get the formatting to work right, and it was so easy for something just to go wrong. So LaTeX is a coding system that really is used in order to lay out documents consistently, and it'll help us get a consistent look across all of the documents in the SIGDOC proceedings and also align them with what ACM wants the documents to look like overall. And Overleaf really simplifies LaTeX overall. It helps you look at your document, see what it looks like as you go along, and as you edit it, it has a lot of tie-ins directly with ACM, so a lot of the formatting is already done, and as you'll see as we go through it, it's relatively simple overall. With all of that being said, I do want to give one quick caveat at the beginning, which is that Overleaf does not export well back into Word format. In fact, it does not export back into Word format at all. It only exports out into PDF, so if you start editing in Overleaf your text, you're going to want to continue editing it there, or at least keep a backup copy in Word somewhere, because you won't be able to export it back nearly as easily. So with all that being said, let's jump into the tutorial itself. First things first, I want to show you the Overleaf website and how to sign up for it. It's relatively simple, just like signing up for about any other website. They have a quick register thing right down here, so you just enter in the email that you want to register. So I'm using a different email that I don't believe I've registered here before. So this is the page that you'll see when you first register. It's not a bad idea to create your own project. You can go in and look at some of the different formatting if you want to. But if you want to jump right into the SIGDOC work, I'd go over and download the ACM template to start with. So I'll put the link for the ACM template in the description below, but this is the page that has the ACM template on it. The one that we're using now is this top one right here. So you'll just want to go find this first one and find this link to ACM conference proceeding template, and then say open as template. This will bring you right back into the template for Overleaf. So this is the page that you see when you first load into your project. All of the coding and the text that you're entering is over here, and over here is the actual preview of the document that you have. So before you do anything else, the first thing I do is create a copy of the template. The reason is the template itself is also a little bit of a manual of how to use the ACM documentation, the ACM system. So if you look in here, they actually describe in the content of this everything that they, or a range of different things that they want you to do and how to actually enter the information into the ACM template. So it's a good idea to have a copy of this. Plus, if you end up having any problems with your document as you go along, it's nice to have a clean copy of this. So in order to create a copy of your document, I'd go up and press this back button, this one right up here. And that'll bring you back to see all of your current projects. So if you go ahead over here, you can click copy, and it will create a copy of the template. So at that point you can go in and start editing the copy. So I want to give you just a very quick overview of the file structure here. First of all, there are 2 main files associated with your document. The first is the .tex file. This has most of the body information for the document. It has the header and all of that information, your abstract, all of your text down here. The second one is the .bib file. This is where all of the information for your actual bibliography at the end is included. None of this actual text is included in the .tex file. So the .bib file has all of that information, and basically the .tex file draws information from this file. Finally, there are also additional files for images, and these are included separately from the .tex file and are just inserted into that file and referenced in that file. So that's a very quick overview of the different pieces of your LaTeX document, and next we're going to go in and talk about how to edit them in more detail. So you have two different ways of editing the document. First through the source, and second through a rich text editor. If you're not very comfortable with coding, I'd highly recommend the rich text editor. It does allow you some basic functions such as including section headers or bolding or italicizing font, things that will make it a little bit easier. You will notice that in many cases it does still include some of the coding where they do not have as much of the information included in the rich text editor. That brings us to the end of our first video in the SIGDOC Overleaf tutorial. In this video, we've looked at how to sign up for Overleaf, how to download the template for the SIGDOC proceedings, and also we've looked at the general file structure and interface for Overleaf. In the next video, we'll be looking at how to edit the header of the article.